Hi, welcome to my kitchen. It's been a while since we've been in my kitchen. I've been in Greg's kitchen and outside. That was wonderful. We went down for, I think we were there for like 5 or 6 days. And, oh my gosh. You don't want to come home when you've been there that long. There's so much to do and so much you want to do. So, but he made me come home. I'm going to be making roasted potatoes with bacon and honey. Now, the first thing you want to do with this one, I've cooked my potatoes. They're almost done, not quite. Now, it says, the directions say to put this on the pan, which I'm going to do that too. We're going to pour these out on our pan. But I just want to make sure I get them all coated, because then we're going to set them in the oven. You're supposed to have 4 potatoes, 4 medium size. Fix whatever you want, make it your own. If you've got a bigger family and you want more, do them. Because you're putting the stuff on it, you'll be able to know if you need more or less as you make it. So that's why I said, if you have a bigger family, larger family, and you want to add more to it, go ahead and do it, because it's fine. Then I'm going to put in, I'm going to salt and pepper them. Not a lot of salt, because you know I don't use a lot of salt, but have to have some on potatoes like this. And then your pepper, and it's a half a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoonful of pepper, but as you see, I'm using a lot more pepper. And if you don't want to use salt, don't use any. You know what your family likes. So, okay, got those all done like that. Now I'm going to set these in my oven until they brown. We want them a little crispy on the sides, on the edges. So we'll put those in there for a while. And then I'm going to mix up my stuff that goes on it next. I'm going to use a little bit. I'm not going to put any more salt and pepper on it. You can if you want. I'm not going to. Then you're going to take your bacon. It says 3 slices of bacon, so I think I've got about 5 here. I'm just going to break it up, cut it up a little bit. I'll tell you, there's always something to do at Greg's house. I'm telling you, he's got so much to do with the quail and the chickens and the pigeons, and trying to get ready to build their new cabin. And I don't know how he does it, and works too. I just don't. But I helped what I could. I don't know, I might have been more harm than help, but it was so much fun. And the chickens, I told you back when I was dehydrating things, that I was dehydrating what I didn't use for us, for the chickens, and I hoped they would like it, and they did. They loved it. My husband built them a little picnic table, which is so cute, and then had screen in the bottom of it for a top with screen, so the food stayed on top of it. And it was so much fun watching them get in there and get after that food. You have to excuse me, I am warm. I've got the air on and everything else, but I'm always warm. So we put I think it's tomatoes and the green peppers. Yeah, it was tomatoes and green peppers is what they like the best. And I'd throw that into them, and they'd stand there and look at me like, who are you? And then after a couple days. As soon as I'd start walking back towards where the chickens were at, they'd start running up to me. So they finally got to where they would come around me. So I was really happy about that. And we had a great time. We went into Cubbage, Kentucky, where I was born at. I was born up on up on the mountain. I wasn't born on the mountain. I was born in the hospital. But we got to go to the mountain and where I lived when after I was taken out of the hospital. And it was so funny because I'm like, oh, that house is so little. But back then, everybody had little houses. So that was something else that was really neat. 3 of my cousins met us and went up there with us, and it was just a wonderful day. We got to go to the cemetery where my grandfather and great-grandfather and great-great-grandfather were buried. So Greg had never been up there, so we got to go up there, and I said that whole cemetery, it's just a little old cemetery, you know, on a hill, like you'll find in the countrysides. And I said, I think it was all miracles, and for a long time, that's about all I saw. But I have a lot of family buried up there, and it was just a wonderful day. Now, I am going to go, and I'll come back. It won't be but a second for you. It'll be a few minutes for me until the potatoes get crispy looking, and then we'll finish this. Okay, I'm back. I tossed my potatoes over one time while they were in there, and it took about 15 minutes to get them a little bit crispy. So I'll get them all back together here, and we'll see if we can't get our bacon, get everything close together. Put our bacon on it, and now that's entirely up to you how much bacon you use. I know my husband, I could use twice as much and he would be glad. Bacon, you just can't go wrong with it at all. But I was talking about being up at Greg's. We went up to Browners Creek. I wanted to see where we called her our little grandma. It was Grandma Julie, where she used to live. But we never found it. It's been so long since any of us has been there. So we didn't get to see it. We'll go back. We did a lot of things like that, and that was really neat because Greg had never been up in there before. We went to my grandmother's, the cemetery where my grandmother's buried at first. I'm going to add just a little bit of garlic salt on this. I had 3 garlic cloves in it, but you know, they didn't, you know me, I like garlic. So, and then we're going to drizzle 3 tablespoons of honey on it. But we went up and we decorated the cemetery there. My aunt and my little grandma and my grandma and grandpas were there, buried there. And then once my cousin got there, him and Greg walked around because he knew some of the other people that in the family that had been buried there, and he lives down there, so he knows about all of it. I don't know, I think that might be 3 tablespoons, we'll find out. But we had so much fun with our cousins. Like I said, Greg had never got to be around them, Annie, and we stopped at one of them's house on the way down. We always go to London, that's where my grandmother lived at. I'm going to set this in the oven to let that just kind of heat that honey up a little. And then we'll bring it back out. But We always stop at David's house first. And usually spend the night with him. He lives in my grandmother's house. He bought it after she passed. And he's done so much work on it. You know, your grandma has the grandma house. He's a bachelor, but he don't want everything changed. But we changed a few things here and there. I did some painting for him, and so we got ready to go to bed, and he says, well, next time you come down, I'd like to have my hallway done in that back bedroom. And I said, well, we'll do that next time I come. So I know what I got to do next time I go down to David's. I got to paint the back bedroom and their in his hallway. But it's so much fun when you can get with your family like that and go somewhere like that and reminisce. And I mean, life's so short the way it is that when you can get out like that, it's time to get out and go. So we had a wonderful time. I know. Like I said, I didn't want to come home. Greg made me. I said, well, I don't want to go. He says, you have to go. No, no, he didn't. Anyway, it was beautiful down there. Weather was perfect. I mean, it wasn't too hot and it wasn't too cold. Worked a little bit in his garden, trying to get it fixed back again. He's got it all done now, ready to start planting. We did plant walking onions and winter garlic. So I'm sure he's glad we got that done. Okay. I think I melted my honey. Melted my honey. Push the right button, it might be okay. I've pushed everyone but cancel, haven't I? This is just another dish, and we're going to be needing a bunch of these for the holidays that's coming up. We've got Thanksgiving coming, and we've got Christmas. So we need some side dishes, which this is really a good side dish, I think. You can make a ton of it, or you can make just a little bit. But believe it or not, the garlic and the honey just gives it that tang that it needs, sweetness and everything. Over there, out of the way. I think that's. And really, the trees were beautiful, but they're really turning now, so, and I love the trees when they're like that down there. It's just such beautiful country. Okay, there we have it. That's my honey potato and bacon dish. And it is delicious. I'm going to have a bite. Now this is a dish that you can serve with your favorite meat. Maybe you made a pot roast that day, or maybe it's having chicken or pork chops. Whatever you want to serve with it. I'm serving pork chops today. Don't that look yummy? Oh my goodness. Wish Greg was here for some of this. But like I said, you can double, triple, whatever you want with this recipe, because it's yours. Make it your own. Your family is bigger than mine. And I know Greg said I take 20 bites, but I don't. I only take 19. Oh my. You can taste that honey and just a little bit of garlic. That is delicious. Now, if you want to brown them more than I did in the oven, that's your privilege. It's your kitchen and your oven. So I hope you'll try this dish. It's delicious. Yeah, I'm counting. That's not 20. That's 3 bites, but it's delicious. So try the potato and honey dish. You'll love it. I guarantee you. And I just want to thank you all for being with us, and stay with us through the holidays, because we're going to be bringing you some really, really good dishes. I want to try to get some more of the side dishes out, and I'm not sure what old Greg's doing, but we'll be covering your meals for you real good. And if there's something you would like for us to make that we haven't made, let us know. One of us will do it. So I thank you for sharing your afternoon with me, and for staying with us, and for all your support and love and prayers that you send our way. Thank you bunches.